all we need is 7,244 wool in order to be able to finish up this grind. And as we can see here, I have 7,224. And with that only being the 20 away, I am one thing away. Although I am still quite a bit away from... I'm still about 3k away from the goal for selling and having money for. I figured I would record this and then I would probably just be working on Hoppin' Worlds or something of the like in order to be able to get that all the way down to so that I can purchase the other gravestone, which, man, that still feels like such a painful thing to have to do, because realistically I just don't want to be dying. So, but that, you gotta do what you gotta do. So here I am going to be getting those 20 more pieces of wool. Oh, this will cut down on the long part due to just how far away the bank is. Man, it will be so nice not having to... Oops, I left my chunk a little bit. As I said in my last video, I'm a lot less worried with that, with the sheep, because the sheep are very erratic. And I do not click on the sheep when they are out of my chunks. But sometimes I click on them and I would have thought, hey, I catch up to them, so I'll cut them before, I'll cut the wool off of them before, and then they continue to just walk right out of my area. So, we hold 28 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're at 17. We are at 18. And we are at 19. And this is the last piece of wool I think I will ever willingly shear off of a sheep. Because, man, I will have so much wool and balls of wool that I will be just fine. So, yeah, just wanted to show that. I'll probably be back in not too long, showing... I might as well get that. It's not going to be too helpful, but hey, might as well take that. I have the space. So I'll be back in not too long, showing me selling off the last of the wood, because that's what I've worked on selling. I'll sell the last of that, and then I will go purchase the gravestone. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And here we are. With this last sell, I reached the 200k that I need, and now I can run off to go see death. And with the money that I have, I will be able to purchase something very nice from death. So, here I go. Oh, oops, that's the wrong option. Can I choose a different looking gravestone? And I can pay 200,000 coins in order to get the angel gravestone. And it'll only appear to me. And I understand that. But it's a chunk task, so... there we go. We have completed that chunk task. Oh, so we are left with 8 coins to our name. And yeah. Now, of course, overall, the course of all of this, we have gathered so many bronze arrows, so that will it may not be the most impactful, but that will definitely be a nice boon to training range. Just the fact that I have all those arrows, because if we come over here to the bank and we deposit these 20 and this 8, and we can deposit all of this stuff, and we can actually remove the deposit lock here. So if we do all that, we see that we have 7,244, which again, as the reminder, that is the amount that we require in order to finish off our XP. And then we also even still have some rubies and some sapphires from just random events. So now begins the process of turning all this wool into XP. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to be doing for the next while. This should, however, be a much quicker process, and it'll just be going up. And, you know, I can always still get random XP events and whatnot that will decrease the amount of wool I actually need to spin by quite a significant amount. But this is what we're going to be doing now, and I'll see you all when I get all this balls. When I get all these spun again, and I have made it to the point of being able to cut the diamond for the chunk task. So, yeah. Alrighty, so we are at the end of my journey to be able to cut a diamond. So we're gonna start off by cutting all of these sapphire and rubies that I got from, and then we're gonna end it with perhaps my last ball of wool ever. And I have reached level 43, and I can now cut diamonds and craft diamond rings. So here we go, crafting a diamond, and that is a chunk task complete. It doesn't really pop up, but that is the last chunk task that I have in this area, as far as I recall, because the only other thing is that. So as we can see, it takes, in order to get to level 43 crafting with quite a few XP lamps and whatnot, 16,504 balls of wool, 27 sapphires, 27 emeralds, and 18 rubies. So yeah, that was quite the grind, and we will see what happens as I go back and roll chunk. So yeah. So, apparently, that's one of the problems you'll run into if you aren't paying close attention to the issues. And I figure I'll do this because it makes enough sense. But one of the things that happened during the whole time of me being away is they added a spell called Monster Inspect, which I can consistently get runes to cast for at level 42 magic. So I guess one of the things I will be doing now is grinding magic up to cast it, even though it doesn't. Magic kind of feels like it's not the most important, but I still figure I'll do that just because, well, I can, and realistically I will be getting the runes necessary to be able to be casting stuff, so I guess I will be out here killing goblins for a bit. And I realized I left some runes in my bank that I should go get to just be able to cast weakness and things like that. So that's what I'm going back for. And I'm killing goblins because they will refund me some amount of those runes as I'm working on getting all the way done. So that's what I'll be doing, and then I'll be rolling myself a new chunk. So here's hoping that it goes by quickly. Well, here we are getting some clues. I was able to get some clues that I was able to do with the limited ones, and here we go. Here's the casket, and we get a Staff of Fire. Oh my goodness, this is going to make the grind for magic so much better. I've been manually casting in order to get that, and this enables me to no longer have to manual cast. I also got some ranged gear upgrades, which not bad, but man, still just being able to auto cast is going to be so nice. That is going to make this so much better. Yeah, just been working on getting magic up to level 42, so that is what is up. I've been working on burying bones as well, you know, just all the good stuff. And claiming from Magic Tutor enough to be getting those things all the time. So, but man, the Fire Staff is so nice. Not needing to autocast will really make this
what if the person
by a lot quicker. I mean, it will have the unintended consequence of making my runes go by a lot quicker too, but still, with that, as I now do have a easy autocast feature, in order to accommodate specifically prayer training, I'm going to go kill some giant frogs instead of goblins at this point. Use up my runes on those. As you can see, nice little marked border, because I like playing with the 117 HD, and there isn't really chunk support stuff with that yet. So, oh man, that is so nice. Just auto casting. You miss that when you just have been stuck with manual casting. It's so nice just being able to click and it'll just go automatically. The retaliation and everything. So yeah, just gonna kill some frogs for their bones, really is what it boils down to. They give 3 times the XP just from the bones as the goblins do, and it's just a nice convenient way to get some prayer XP to get up to 43. So here we are. Got some more clues that I can do and turn in for a casket at this point. Got 3 beginner clues that I can all do. So all 3 of them were talking to the chef as well. So that's always a nice thing. And I'm just here talking to the chef. And I get the casket on the 2nd step. That's so good. That saves me a clue. Scroll, so let's see what we get. And it's 22 arrows. So basically nothing. But hey, I still have a clue left over, I guess. So here we are jumping towards the end of the long grind against the big frogs in order to get magic level up higher. One of the things I realized is they added the water weakness to the frogs. At least I believe it's water weakness. Anyway, regardless, water ends up using less air runes, which ended up being one of my limiting factors. So, because Fire Strike uses 2 air runes per shot, and so it was like, I should
do this instead, this will actually help save me. And so, another thing which I started doing is, well, to help with the wonderfulness of supplies, is a thing that I saw from Josh Isn't Gaming on Chunckman, where rather than just killing the entire way, after a certain amount, if they are low enough, swapping to melee and killing them. And so here I am doing that, as well as trying to use up my body runes that I've gotten from killing so many goblins, to get the XP that I would need to get to level 42. And as you can see, we are nearly there. We're so close. And it's going to be so nice being done with this. But we're just a few kills away, and still collecting all the big bones in order to bury them. And, you know, if it happened to get a prayer level, that'll be a bonus as well. So just killing, and as I said, swapping to melee, killing as appropriate levels. I believe the max hit with the water strike is a 8, and so I decided upon swapping at 7 HP, because at that point I run the risk of not being able to hit the max, which happens fairly commonly as you are attacking with weakness things. The weak element. The element that monsters are weak to. It happens fairly often. And so, yep, I just try to take advantage of that. And then here, we are so close. So close. Here we go. We're going to end up killing this frog. And as we do so, we're going to be just a little bit away from it, because I swapped to melee, because I really want to save on runes. And then here, I cast the weakness and get that level. So, I can now cast Monster Examine, but there's a fun little part about this that I was unaware of at the time. Monster Examine is marked as a members-only spell. We'll see this pop up just a bit, where I'm burying these bones in order to try getting last prayer XP too, but we will see that I will go over here, and my filters are a bit rough, so it wasn't showing up anyway. So I showed the utility spells, and then it says members only. Well, that's an issue that has been there apparently like as long as it's been in the game. It's not members only. You can cast it on free to play. It just shows up as darked out like this and saying it's members only. But if you click it and then click on an enemy, you will still cast Monster Examine. There we go. There's that Monster Examine spell. Shows me some of the info about them. So I'm just going to be sticking around a little bit more to get the last XP, and hey, looky there! That's a random event, so that may just give me the last XP for... And we have the stuff needed in order to get me to 43 prayer, which was a mini goal for protection from melee. And there we are. That is this chunk completely done. Well, here goes. We are once again picking chunks. I have realized that a chunk that would not be very nice to get right now would be the West Lumbridge Swamp, due to these things right here, because the obnoxious task would be the smelt the adamant bar. Everything else in there wouldn't, well, there's not really too much in there besides that. I mean, there's the mine adamant ore, but you kind of have to do that with, oh, and let me just mark that off completed now. But you kind of have to do that in order to smelt the adamant bar, given where I'm at. Here, you got obtaining a red cape. I believe that's just killing people, killing like a highwayman or something like that. So that wouldn't be too bad. That gets closer to other areas that have better things about them. You have the North Draenor. This gets you a bunch of stuff because you get access to the underground. It also gets me going more in a direction I would like to go, because realistically I would love to get over here to Falador. It also gives you like heading over this way in general gives me a lot more chunks. This would not really be anything at this point, because I can't get up here without leaving the chunk, so it would really just be this river part, and that requires members, and then here it's just more cows, so it would kind of just be a freebie, unlocking the option to get to Draenor Manor, I believe. I'm not sure I'd actually be able to enter Draenor Manor, but like it would at least give me up here, and I could potentially roll up there, even if I can't enter Draenor Manor regularly. Here, it would have some stuff, mostly from the wizards here. Well, actually, yes, I can get there, because I can walk up here. Yeah. So it would mostly just be the wizards. It would just be this little piece right now, so there really wouldn't be too much. It would be, hey, I can roll another chunk, and this again potentially has the mining goals, which would eventually it would be mining. And it would also unlock another clue scroll step, which would be kind of nice for the times when I'm doing goblins or whatnot for those. And then here, I don't think there's too much here. I think there may be a bit of money making locked behind here by buying uncut gems and whatnot, and that would also be a nice way of training up crafting for any potential crafting grinds that I would have. But that's the scrolls. So really, this one is kind of a number 7 is really the only bad chunk that I can roll right now. I would really like, I doubt it will happen, but I would really like to make my way to the mining guild before getting grind like at 7, but we'll see what happens. So let us pick a chunk. It's been a long time, but let's pick a chunk. And here we go. Oh, how did I know I was going to get that chunk? So that doesn't actually unlock the Wizard's Tower as a rollable chunk, because there's no way of reaching there. But yeah, so I guess I can progress Restless Ghost a little bit more. Other than that, I just have a extremely long mining and smithing grind. Yeah, so I guess that's what I've got. So figured might as well show the easy tasks, even though this is gonna take literally no time. Looky there! I obtained some leather gloves! Best in slot! Woo! Free to play! Amazing! And now I can talk to Father Erne and tell him that Father Harasek sent me to talk to him. And he's got a ghost! And so, yeah.
He now complains, gives an amulet of ghost speak. And so now, what I get to do is I get to go back and talk to the ghost. I can get rid of these marked tiles. I thought I'd already gotten rid of all of them, but yeah, I don't need those tiles anymore because now I can freely cross that without any concern. So now I get to come into here and I get to open up and I can talk to the rest of this ghost. Yep, now tell me what the problem is. Warlock stole his skull. And he tells us it's from the wizard's tower. And so I have now completed as much as I can of the quest. So that is that goal done. So now what I have left to do is mining and smelting. And for the smelting, I'm still going to have to get quite a bit of... I have to get to level 50 to even be able to smelt this mithril. But for now, I think I'm just going to be getting coal so that I have plenty of coal for when I... Well, for when I get to it. Because I'm going to need a lot of coal for all the smelting that I'm going to be doing. And yeah, we'll go back to the... Yeah. I'll go back to copper and tin in order to be able to finish out the 50 smithing I need. But I'll need a lot of coal in order to be able to... even do a lot of the smelting I will need to do. So that's what I'll be doing.